Hello, hello, hola, hola, aló, 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 hello, hello, hello. I've been wanting to do this stream for a little bit because I'm assuming a lot of you all had already seen this where there was this like feminism panel on Vice and it got a lot of backlash, I guess, about it. I haven't watched the full thing, so this will be like a live reaction. I was just curious about it. I will say, oh, and esto va a ser solamente en inglés porque no tiene subtítulos en español. Sorry. As I was saying, I'm gonna only do it in English because unfortunately it doesn't have any Spanish subtitles. I did check. So some of you might know we teach at university. That's one of our jobs, and we teach about things like diversity and gender and things like that. So I feel like we're pretty well, we have well educated, I guess, in this topic. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it. Yeah, so I might pause and talk over it. I might not pause as much. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The only reason why I was debating not doing this today is because I'm a little tired, but I want to stream, and this should be a not too long stream. Plus, I couldn't figure out what game to play, so I just want to do this before I forget, before people forget about this. Also, I have my Sailor Moon soda that some of you saw on Twitter, and I'm gonna drink one of them today. Ooh. Listen to that ASMR. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. So I got this is the strawberry one. It's one of the ones I got. The one was Ray with strawberry, and it tastes like Fanta strawberry, like strawberry Fanta, which I love. So that's impressive. I can't say that it tastes unique, but I do like strawberry Fanta. I also have a little burgery snack. Oh, not a real burger. Burger candy burger. They're like, what are these called? Every burger. Every burger. It's this Japanese snack I like, so that's what I have right now. Okay. Let's see where this goes. Supposedly it's a mess.
How is it sexism when we have no barriers today? So we can pick what we want to pick.
Who doesn't
Oh,
have
wait, why
barriers?
can't you see?
Don't have barriers?
Women,
There it
yeah.
is.
What's
We have
stopping
no
you? You can do
barriers.
whatever you want. What's
I
stopping
can
you?
or you can.
What's stopping you?
Sexism, money, life. Again, from everything I've heard is that this panel was really terrible, so we'll see. Vice invited a diverse group of women.
Oh, here we go.
Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Liz Landers. I'm Vice News' chief political correspondent, and we are here today to talk about some of the biggest issues dividing women across the country. In other words, we're here to talk about feminism. First, I just want to say we know we can't represent everybody's views, but we did try our best to bring together a diverse group of women today. In today's polarized world, is feminism dead? I saw your hand.
I think that depends on the definition of feminism. I strongly think that feminism is more of an action than an identity. I would say it's uplifting all women, in which case it's very alive. At the same time, if we do follow that definition, feminism has splintered off into so many different areas that you can look at people like Sheryl Sandberg.
And there's like different waves of feminism.
Get another nanny if you feel oppressed. And if we're talking about that kind of feminism, yeah, it's pretty dead.
Yeah. I mean, as long as the human race exists, feminism will never be dead. There's something that we're always going to have to strive and work towards.
Oh, because keep in mind, okay, so the real definition of feminism is just equality for all genders. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not really supposed to be about women specifically. It's not supposed to be about white women either. It's supposed to be equality for all genders. And then if you look at the feminism from people of color, it's like, yes, and also recognizing that different people of different genders who are also people of color get oppressed more. Same if you're looking at like disability status or money, all that, blah, blah. Just so you know. Play.
To make sure that there's equality. So feminism is not dead.
I don't know that it can die. As long as there's power and oppression, there will be people fighting for equity. And until that somehow goes away, feminism is alive and well.
I think feminism isn't actually about equality. It's about equality when it benefits us. I think feminism...
That doesn't make sense.
It's really about women wanting special privileges and treatment.
Oh my God. Okay, so... No. That's not what feminism is. This is something that people who have internalized misogyny will say, which is unfortunate. And what it's supposed to be is equality. Women are not equal to men. Other genders are not equal to men or women, like people like me, basically. And it's not about special interests, like equality, or really we're looking at equity, not equality. But let's hear this person talk.
At the expense of men often, and I think it's alive and well, sadly.
What's what? Oh, what? Sadly,
I think feminism is also alive and well. There are different kinds of feminism.
Don't disappoint me.
That is obvious.
I know you're Latina. Don't disappoint me.
And for me, as a womanist, as a Black feminist, right, as someone who's really thinking about human rights, dignity, right, equity, right, as long as that need isn't met, we're still gonna keep fighting.
I'd say it's alive and well. I'd say that it's also very nuanced, and I think what it looks like is going to differ depending on where you are in the world. For me, I just see it as a lens, which isn't necessarily antagonistic or protagonistic. It's just a useful tool.
Similar to what Pearl just said, I find that a lot of feminist ideology and thought today feels more of like a supremacist movement rather than something that is supposed to be advancing the goals of equality. I don't think that we can really term what's going on as feminism because it looks so different to, I think, the earlier feminist movements.
What?
So in that way, I would say it's taken its last breaths of life. It's
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I definitely think it's getting more.
Zaho, te perdiste mi snack review. No review, pero. So, I opened the Sailor Moon soda, one of them. Estoy tomando el strawberry, sabe bastante bueno, sabe como Fanta strawberry. Es el de Rey que abrí ahora. Y mi snacky es Every Burger. Have you had Every Burger? Son como galletitas pequeñas que parecen hamburger, pero son como... Es como un mini biscuit con chocolate adentro. ¿Por qué me estás gritando no? Why are you screaming no? It's delicious. And we're watching the feminism debate from Vice that apparently a lot of people didn't like. So a lot of people have been complaining about it. So we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it.
More and more radicalized, for sure. So it's definitely still alive.
Sajo, este snack
and say that
y este refresco está tan rico, perdón, pero sí.
Modern Western feminism, and there might be a lot of terms that I don't know, like political jargon and stuff. But I believe in the advancement of women, whoever considers themselves a woman. I think there's a deficiency in society. So it's deeply rooted that feminism has always existed. I think America's a little obsessed with themselves, and it's like always feminism is rooted in America.
Bothering me. I'm sorry,
and
the coins are bothering
white
me.
women started it, and it's kind of offensive because for thousands of years, women have been dying for their rights.
I think as a Black woman specifically, when you talk about feminism, the mainstream first thing you think about is a certain type of feminism that tends to exclude still, even today, even with intersectional feminism, exclude African-American women, and it's always kind of done that, and also like, upper middle class white women has predominantly been the face of what we quote-unquote consider feminism.
Yeah, that's true.
I think feminism is attempting to say, okay, the first thing we agree on is that there are barriers and friction to what I need and what I want based on the fact that I'm a woman. What it ignores is that, and what privilege is that you may not have to think that being a woman and being a Black woman and being a Black woman who has a disability, for example, impacts you further. You have more barriers, you have more friction,
yeah, that's
you are less able
intersectionality.
to get what you want. You're undervalued in a way that's like, okay, well,
and that's what new feminism is trying to address. That's what the BIPOC feminism
and that we're
tries
able
to do.
Without friction, all get the same needs met.
Yeah, see, I disagree with that. I think life is easier if you're a girl.
Oh my God.
Actually, I think there's a lot of benefits that men don't have.
What are you talking
I'm not gonna
about?
speak anything to race. I'm just talking about
like
gender.
What? Like what? Money?
It's usually like an excuse.
You got more money?
Honestly, I think as a girl, you have equal opportunity in the world. I think there's benefits.
Okay, let me just. No. Mira la cara, mira la cara. No, men have more advantages than women. That's just true. Men and cis women have more advantages than trans and non-binary people. That's also true. I think she seems very conservative. It seems like she's bought into the misogyny, and unfortunately that means that she does not think that she has any disadvantages, but obviously she does. I mean, if you just look at and I know they're going to talk about abortion at some point, if you just look at all the abortion laws that passed and all that, like, people who have uteruses, not even just women, have fewer rights, right? Vamos a escuchar esta pendeja.
Like, for example, we have quotas for women in specific jobs that are given to us that aren't given to men. So yeah, I would say
there's quotas because if they didn't do that, they wouldn't hire any women.
Over here, though, it seems there's a lot of pretty privilege in what you're saying,
oh my
and
God.
Then you're white and you present.
Do you think I'm pretty? Thank you.
I think that you present in a way that beauty standards have accepted, and so
they call me ugly on the internet all the time. They be roasting me daily. I swear to God.
Okay, two things. One, they're probably just saying that she's ugly to hurt her feelings. Secondly, why did she start speaking in AAVE instantly? AAVE is African American Vernacular English, aka she had a black accent. Why does she have a black accent? Because I don't think that's the same as other BIPOC, because I know I do this, where if I'm doing something more professional or I'm more serious, I talk white because I know it's the way I'm supposed to talk. But when I'm with friends or I'm comfortable, I talk more normally. This is not that. This is a white woman speaking with a black accent.
I don't mean to say I think you're gorge. I just mean that there are a certain value that we give to certain bodies.
Let's also dig into why these quotas exist and why these, what you're calling
because
privileges
we want
exist.
special treatment.
Oh my God.
No, it's because there have historically and presently in most jobs been fewer women.
Yes.
And because of sexism.
Yes.
How is it sexism when we have no barriers today? So we can pick
someone slap her.
Doesn't have barriers.
Women don't have barriers.
Slap her.
Women, yeah. What's
we
stopping
have no
you? You can do
barriers.
whatever you want.
Slap her.
I can or you can.
What's stopping you? As a woman.
As a woman. That ignores a lot that I'm a woman with a disability. So there's a lot stopping me that you don't have to think about.
Well, as I said before, I'm speaking about women. You're
speaking for yourself.
You're speaking as an able-bodied
white woman.
Yeah.
Presents white.
Of course.
Oh my God, this person in the front who's trying to get their attention, this person, and they're like, no.
I'm talking about as a woman.
Oh my God,
so you're just going to ignore white women have it easier, yes.
Slap her. Slap her.
You're just going to ignore the pay gap, regulation over bodies.
The pay gap has been disproven and debunked endlessly.
Wow, this is a mess.
It's the industries that
Ya veo lo que estaban diciendo.
There's a pay gap, but it's because women don't want to do the hardest industries.
Oh my God.
I don't think it's that simple. I think that's
she really bought into it.
Simplification. I think the fact of the matter is that women structure their lives differently to men. Men don't give birth. Men don't have to carry pregnancies. Men don't have to be the primary caregiver most of the time. Women also don't hold jobs for as long as men do. They often will stop and start. They'll go back into work. They'll take time off. They'll take part-time jobs. The way that men work and women work are astronomically different. And to try to say that they're comparable is where this issue comes from. They're not comparable.
Two things. First of all, let's dig into why they think that they should take these jobs, which is societal sexism. And then also,
slap her.
Department of Labor, all statistics, at least speaking in the U.S., have found that compared to the same
government agency and having a voice, right, and having choice, and thinking about our basic human rights, education, access to health, homes, like having bread, having food, and those things are very important, right? And they're at the crux, right, of what a lot of us here know that we need. It's like there are the barriers, right, that we constantly ignore that are very much systemic and microaggressive, right? We see them and experience them every day.
Like what in the U.S.?
So,
like what?
What would you like to know an example?
Oh,
I know you said that there's
barriers.
I want to know what barriers in the U.S. today as a woman.
Well, as a woman or as a woman of color? Let's be specific.
As a woman. I said as a woman.
Well, no, I can't answer as a woman.
I just feel like your question is kind of hostile when you're like, there are no barriers to what I want. Congratulations. That means you have a privilege where you're not facing
empowerment and agency and having a voice, right, and having choice, and thinking about our basic human rights, education, access to health, homes, like having bread, having food, and those things are very important, right?
I
And
want
they're
them
at
to
the
let the
crux,
trans
right,
girls talk about that
what a lot of
experience,
us
because that's
here
very different
know that
too.
we need. It's like there are the barriers, right, that we constantly ignore that are very much systemic and microaggressive, right? We see them and experience them every day.
Like what in the U.S.?
So, what would you like to know an example of?
I know you said that there's like barriers. I want to know what barriers in the U.S. today as a woman.
Well, as a woman or as a woman of color?
Oh, when I hit the button, it went back. Sorry, y'all.
Well, no, I can't answer as a woman.
I just feel like your
woman,
question is kind of hostile when you're like,
why does it do that every time I hit a button? I hate that.
There are no barriers to what I want. Congratulations.
Sorry that I had to repeat it.
Where you're not facing any friction, and that's showing. And I feel like it's
I think
like
as an American.
Hold on, let me go over here. Give me my angry face here. The problem is that when I do that, when I have YouTube open, it goes back and forth. I'm sorry.
I think as an American, you're very privileged. Like,
I'm
not ignoring that.
Or like a basic level of what, I mean, the feminist
The moderator is not doing anything.
It comes to just being born a woman, right? Physically, pound for pound, we are born as women and we have less lean muscle mass than men. So there are issues of violence and assault and stuff like that. And so therefore, there are policies, there are things to help women physically, like, for example, I believe being able to carry a firearm and being able to use that safely to defend yourself against men who are born naturally with more muscle mass than a woman.
I keep hearing the term equity. What would a world that has equity look like? Like, would it be 50% of everyone in the same jobs?
Just so you all know, so equity just means that so it's better than equality. So here's the thing. The reason why equality is not what you want to strive for is because equality means everyone gets the same thing, but some people who are more marginalized than others need more to be actually equal. So equity is that. Están buscando todos los problemas que pueden menos hablar del tema. Yeah.
Would it be like prison, 50%?
That's equality.
50%. So what does equity look like?
So equity is generally described as a state of fairness because historically a lot of people have been arguing for equality, but what does that give us? Like 0.5 of the 1% being women, this doesn't really do anything for us. And so people have talked about equity instead, which is instead of sameness, it's fairness.
Yeah.
This would mean that we remove systemic barriers to engage in society, not just for
she doesn't
women,
care,
but also
slap her.
for everyone.
So which barriers?
Barriers that you don't believe in.
I don't.
For you to have a bunch of ramps in your life, it doesn't do shit. I need those ramps, right?
Can we stick to male versus female? That's my question.
I'm
thinking male versus female.
But my feminism includes ability, it includes race.
My question
is,
you guys can talk.
Women versus men.
The moderator's doing nothing.
Do we need to remove? That's my statement. I'm not stating anything else. I'm stating women versus men.
It's very silly.
So what barrier?
I just want
The
question
it's
is
a fair
silly.
question.
So, yeah, but
It's not a fair question. It's
how is it not a fair question?
Kind of proving the point of what people, especially Black women, other people who are anybody who's not white, why we hear feminism and we don't want that label because it means, I'm just gonna say, it means that. Like, it means that you've already gone into a pinnacle of whatever you think your happiness needs or whatever your survivalist needs are, when there are people on lower end who are trying to survive, who are trying to get to a point of what should be normal, based on what other people have.
It sort of sounds like you're saying feminism is not always inclusive then.
Right. It's most of the time it's not inclusive.
Why the hell do they have a white, thin, blonde woman as the moderator? Huh? And why would they bring in someone who's that conservative and argumentative? It just, because she's not really listening, you know, she's just ranting.
It's more times than not, it's not. So, and within the just feminism space, again, there obviously the very basic is male versus female versus, you know, but unfortunately, we've only had one subset of women be the face and voice and the academics and research and everything to be able to say, well, that's the standard we need to be in, when there are other people who are still trying to get to some type of normalcy and just living.
What is the biggest issue then that feminism faces?
I think it's the mindset. Women taking like the agency, women taking initiative. I think it's mindset holding them back a lot, because if you want to be in a competitive world and compete, you have to have the right mindset. And I think a lot of people blame their lack of...
You really think that if you just think about something enough, you'll get it? Oye, pero esta tipa bien pendeja también.
Confidence or what society tells them for the reason that
they're
not achieving what they need to achieve. When that's not the case, you have to have a mindset of achieving, because the men who built the world had the mindset of building it. So the women who want to engage and build that further, they need to have that same mindset.
Up.
I don't think we do. I think that's like assuming that we all want to be capitalist babies.
Right.
I think that men are not well adjusted in the society and women are not trying to re-embody what they have built for us. I think that like what we're forgetting is a very important detail, which is just like human respect and dignity. And not asking people to prove what their experience is and to prove to you. Like, it is like such conservative thinking to say like, I don't understand, explain it to me, versus just saying, I don't understand and let me respect what you are saying.
I'm really respecting that. I'm saying that if you don't have the mindset you can even achieve it, you're never going to even try. So it's never
achieve what? Like, what are we talking about? Because I feel
like you can't do things if you're being held back, pendeja.
On every woman.
Achieve whatever it is you're looking for, equality, equity. But what I'm saying is women in the feminist space and a lot of these other spaces, we don't acknowledge
I can't tell this person's stupid or trolling.
We have to take the action. We have to have the mindset. We have to demand those things.
I don't understand how we're getting so off topic. This is about feminism today, whereas everybody wants to make this about their individual, here are all the multitude of other things that factor into my person.
Here we
go. This is about feminism. It's about womanhood.
There's another white woman being an idiot.
That all of you have your own individual experiences and the other things that feed into you as a person.
You know what you're saying? I don't give a fuck. Let's just talk about men and women because I'm a white woman. I don't have to worry about that shit. Don't make me think about things. Thank you.
And that's perfectly fine. But this is where intersectionality falls off the planet and loses, I would argue, probably the vast majority of people, including me. I'm not even a feminist. I don't give a crap about feminists arguing amongst themselves about who's the most victimized. But this is annoying to listen to. I honestly I don't understand anything anybody's even
She's like, I have an ally.
Look, I just want to say that I don't think equity and this concept of competition can't coexist with each other. Equity is building more facilities for people who need them. It is recognizing that there are holes in the market and there's opportunities for women and
at least you finally got to
people
talk.
And meeting those opportunities. I think equity can buoy the pre-existing system that we live in a good way.
And this is where we're going to get to what I think the real feminist arguments are based off of policy. And abortion is the biggest one.
How many of you would identify as pro-choice? Let's do a show of hands for pro-choice.
I feel like pro-choice is pro-life, though.
Yeah.
Okay, and folks who identify as pro-life?
Really?
Why do you identify as each?
You've gone from legal.
I thought you'd be okay.
To, I'm so proud. Let me beatbox in front of the Planned Parenthood. I got murder on my mind. The fact that it's celebrated that murdering children, especially in late-term pregnancies, is celebrated, that people are so proud of themselves for mutilating a fetus is just, it blows my mind.
Nothing she's saying is true. I just want you all to know that. This is the same conservative talking points that people bring up all the time. This is all bullshit. I just want you to know. Okay.
And I don't think that you need to be pro-life to even take that stand.
You said late-term pregnancy.
Yes.
A lot of abortions do not happen.
I made the distinction. I made the distinction specifically because lots of people still celebrate. There are people who, when the laws were passed actually here in New York, they said, yes, great, yes, I love the fact.
Mira la cara, es que la cara de ella es la cara mía, que está como que, Sayori, you should be confused because it doesn't make any sense. Básicamente los conservativos dicen, no podemos tener la aborción porque las mujeres quieren aborción para que cuando tengan un hijo de 8 o 9 meses, entonces los matan. Lo cual no es cierto y no pasa.
You need to ask about what are people celebrating, right?
Look at the face. Access. That's my face right now.
Killing kids, like that's not what it is.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
So, like, here's the thing:
la mujer está diciendo que las personas que son pro-choice celebran la muerte de niños. Are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Talking about access
what the fuck is right, Sayori?
And to abortion rights, right, into being pro-choice. Listen, that's your body. You do you.
The child is not your body. A zygote. A baby.
It's so scary for me to hear people calling like guns the biggest equalizer for women, but taking their choices away from them at a policy level.
Why is that?
having a gun is an equalizer.
It is.
Having rights is an equalizer.
Yeah, that's
having
right.
choice is an equalizer.
Just like a gun right.
And in this country, the policies that are pushed to continue perpetuating patriarchy.
Now they're like, what's more important, having access to a gun or having an abortion? Zayori, es que what the fuck es la respuesta correcta.
Women, like taking the autonomy away from women. It is heartbreaking to see women pushing that propaganda. It's all brainwash. Like you.
It's brainwash because you don't agree with me.
No, I have lived deeply institutionalized. I have lived under Islam. I'm not interested in any of that. Like, there's no like.
You're not interested in me.
I'm sorry. Look, if she wants to have a gun, that's her right too. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, she's talking about having a gun to protect herself. That's okay.
I'm not interested in
I'm not talking about an ACAR,
thinking that,
you know what I'm talking about.
Women are doing this really bad thing. Like in my religion, abortion is actually allowed. If the woman needs it, she's allowed because, you know, it's very interesting how like fundamental America is. Like fundamentalist.
This is nothing to do with like even religion. This is very basic scientific human right.
We're also talking about people not having access to abortion clinics where they're doing the things themselves and they die. Right? We're also talking about women in the hospital who are pregnant, who have chosen to stay with their pregnancy and have issues at hospitals, and hospitals that are like, oh, no, we don't do that. Listen.
And
for whatever.
Just so you know, the baby guns, that would be the best solution. Also, statistics show that Black or African American women are the highest rate of dying in childbirth because they're not treated correctly. Just FYI.
Reason you don't need to explain it to anybody, but a lot of times when we're talking about access to reproductive health,
I'm thinking
about Black, Indigenous, people of color, particularly women and girls who are working class.
I got so stressed, I ate my whole snack.
Access to like proper sexual education. It's the oppressive state of saying, I will force you to have a child even against your own will, right? Especially when you're thinking about women and girls who would be forced to have these children who are already living in very traumatized and scarce situations. You want to ask about barriers? That's a barrier right there.
Yeah.
Women in poverty aren't able to access the way that rich women are. And no matter what happens, rich women are going to keep getting abortions. And people in poverty are going to not. And the choice, opening it up.
En serio. Me comí el snack completo en que 15 minutos.
Poverty way more than people who are going to get access to those abortions.
Actually, incorrect. There's actually more abortions for people in poverty. It's just at a lower rate.
What? Doesn't make any sense.
Why do you think that abortion has been so tied up in this feminism conversation?
It's all just social structure set up around bodies.
Slapper.
So if not all women are able to have babies, but it's about the barriers and value that we give to these specific bodies, right? And so if abortion happens in a woman's body, that's why this conversation is coming up.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You said that not all women are able to have babies or pregnancies. Are you saying, meaning like an infertility issue?
A number of reasons. There's all kinds of reasons that not all women are having babies.
Pearl, I saw your hand up. Yeah.
I think women want to sleep around and not have any consequence for it.
Hell yeah.
Wait, why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of, take.
No. Okay, let's continue.
Taking personal accountability and being on birth control, they just want to do whatever they want.
Slapper.
You say this like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it almost sounds like you said.
Can I also ask, do you have any care to empower women, or is disempowering women part of your steam?
Yeah.
You see, this is shame, insult, guilt, need to be right. Okay.
What?
Why is it empowering to sleep around?
No, what I'm saying is I feel like you do take the way you speak on women is very sort of
because she's misogynistic.
Women just don't want to do this. Women just don't have this. Women just wanted this. And I wonder why you have so much hatred towards women.
Yes.
Where does that root?
Yeah, she's misogynistic.
I am a woman.
What did I say from the beginning? That she has internalized misogyny. It's very clear.
I doesn't mean you don't have self-hate.
I could be Black and still be internalized racism.
Exactly. I'm saying specific things that you're saying, like women don't want to work, women don't want to this, women want to sleep around.
She's right.
Where did you learn these belief systems from.
Because, okay, the question was, why does abortion keep getting brought up? 40% of women that have had abortions have had 2 or more. 40%.
Good for them.
So what does that say to me? That means they're using it as a form of birth control. And they don't track the 60%.
What kind of abortion?
Can you let me finish? They don't track the 60% to say who in the future has abortion. So to me, it's like, why are they dying so hard for abortion? They want to sleep around with no consequences, even though you have 41 forms of birth control.
As if that's the problem.
I don't think that benefits women. I think actually that benefits men, because it means that men can have sex with you without consequence. It means that you can sleep with whoever you feel like. Great. But there are consequences, because women are the ones who get pregnant and carry babies and give birth.
It's very binary version of sex.
Yes, because sex is binary, but please let me finish my point.
Oh, God.
It's tricking women into thinking that aborting a pregnancy, terminating pregnancy, is something to be celebrated, when in reality, for a lot of women, especially those who are doing it under duress, say that they've been raped, or that, in the small circumstances where something really traumatic has happened to them, that's a medical decision, or say that they're miscarrying and they have to, have an assisted termination. That's a medical procedure. It's not a celebration of, oh, look at
the idea, the sort of like...
Wasn't she the one who a minute ago was like, they're just getting this to celebrate? I'm so confused.
Moral setting of that it needs to be rare is... I think the delineation between that's a medical abortion and that's like a fun abortion is really interesting, because they're all medical. It's all a medical procedure. And so no matter what you're doing, going in there and getting it, like it's not like, oh, you're only allowed 2. It's just like, you should just be able to get a medical procedure done when it's something that you need done.
We shouldn't be desensitized to taking someone's life.
The problem is that pro-lifers believe that the baby is a full human at conception. It's complicated. So they don't see it as a medical procedure, right?
Never be an empowering factor for a woman.
I definitely agree in that, like, there should be no absolute thing any woman should do. There should not be an absolute response to incest or rape or any of these things. Every woman should have the choice of if they want to or not want to carry that child, whether it is having fun, getting raped, incest, whatever it is.
It is.
I don't glorify and glamorize abortion. I think it's a very traumatic thing. I doubt that if somebody has to do, like, if they have to do it, they'll do it. I don't think that people are like, doing like have 6, get the 7th free and having fun with it.
Yeah, that's true too.
And I think that like glamorization and glorification of any side is not okay.
Did the Dobbs decision make anybody here
the dog's decision
rethink abortion access,
that's not health care? Hold on, the closed captioning says dogs. No, it was like the Department of Justice, right? I think, never mind. They're talking about the laws that changed, not a decision a dog made.
It's anti-woman, right? It's it does not center people to have that voice for themselves and their own decisions.
I mean, not just anti-woman, anti-people with uteruses.
It's giving more agency to women, because it's moving it back to the state level. So locally,
but why would the state have the ability to tell me what to do?
Because it doesn't
have that power.
If you take out the viewpoint that life begins at conception, which is a really big defining principle for both the pro-life crowd, who very, very vehemently believe that, and then obviously a lot of the pro-choice crowd do not believe that. Taking that out of the equation, you do not have just whatever kind of autonomy you want as a person. It's regardless of male or female. You can't just have free run to do whatever the hell you want. That's not how society operates.
So at no point do I have the right to tell anyone in this room what they should or should not do with their bodies.
But it's not about your body. It's not about
me respecting.
I have a question here.
It's not about
oh my God, moderator, I had to go.
I don't care what you do with your
body. My body, right? We're talking about my body.
Slap them all.
We're not.
Jordan, I saw your hand creep up.
The Dobbs decision for me reinforced how important it is that we approach these issues from a cultural perspective, because it reinforces something that I have told many of my colleagues and peers in the past, which is that so long as you lack a cultural consensus, any issue can become a political football that can be decided by another election cycle. And so long as there is no strong consensus, I would expect this to be our reality going forward, these extremely vitriolic and aggressive conversations until there's another miraculous consensus that brought about Roe v. Wade. But what it more or less reinforced for me is that we're going to have more of these difficult conversations.
I want to talk about transgender issues.
Oh God,
should trans women be included in feminist?
Because there's trans women here, right now. Okay, let's see how this
conversations. How about in women's spaces?
Yes, they're women. What's the question?
Pearl,
trans women or women?
So I want to come at this from the position of an athlete.
Oh, Here we go.
So I play basketball.
Espérate, que la mujer dijo, oh, Jesus, tan pronto empezó a hablar. As soon as she started talking, you just hear the, oh, Jesus, here we go.
So when it comes to like athletic spaces, I don't think that trans women should be allowed into athletic spaces because I don't think it's a fair, I think as female athletes, we work so incredibly hard for the little opportunity there is in women's sports.
So now females.
There's no barrier.
Wait. Now there's a barrier. Okay.
Opportunity in some industries.
That's what a barrier is.
I know.
It's not. No. It's based on the market. Okay.
Hold on, guys.
Okay. So
we
work very hard for the little opportunity there is in the space because we're not as entertaining as the men. Sorry, we're just not.
Wait. 2 things. 1, misogynist again. 2, can you imagine how awkward it would be to sit in front of this person? I would be like, I can't look at her because I'll slap her. If I look at her, I'll slap her. I can't imagine sitting in front of her.
And so it's like you're going to take the little opportunity that we're given. And the problem is, like, we can't compete. We can't. Like, I'm 6 foot. If I go up against a 6 foot guy and I play basketball with him, he's going to body me.
And what happens if I go up against you?
Even if I have years more of training. And so it's like you're taking away the little opportunity that we're given. And
why are we giving this person more space to talk?
And you're just giving it back to biological guys. It's like this will be the end of women's sports.
Have you tried confidence?
Eli, hold on, Minnie.
Sorry, confidence can't make me bench what a guy benches. Confidence can't make me 6'7".
So hostile. She's sharing her experience.
Confidence can't make me 6'7".
No, she's sharing.
And I'd have to go.
Yeah, she is. What? That's an opinion, not entertaining as the man. What? Exacto. She's like, no, we're just not as entertaining as men. That's just a fact. She's just misogynistic.
She's a woman who's had an experience.
You guys
are so obsessed with your own experiences and your...
Okay, saying one at a time isn't going to help. You should be directing them better. Moderator, if that's even your real name. I know it's not your name.
Existence, and yet when a woman is sitting here telling you, I feel as though this is unfair and this is compromising and this situation is not helping women, you guys are like, but when you're like, I'm a black person that did this, and this, then it's valid and fair and viable.
I want to give you the chance to respond.
I should have gotten alcohol for the stream.
Talking point. Everyone has biological advantages in sports. How tall are you?
5'11" and a half. I'm tall.
I'm 5'8". I am a trans woman.
Clearly.
You would crush me. You would absolutely crush
me.
Clearly.
Wrist strength. Yeah. Muscle density. You can't switch those.
Yeah, exactly. You would crush me.
But also, Eli, you.
So literally, even with a trans woman next to her, I'm glad that she finally, said that, because there's other trans women here too, besides her. She's visibly smaller and weaker than this one, and she's like, nope, you would beat me because you at some point had testosterone. Okay.
Would never play at the level that Pearl plays.
So let me give you a few more examples here too.
Slapper.
So Michael Phelps produced more lactic acid in his body, which caused him to swim better than any of his competitors. This was widely celebrated, and nobody contested it. Now, this is a performance-enhancing hormone. So we all have different bodies. And now I'm not saying that trans women who aren't on hormones should participate, but there are, every major medical and every major sports organization agrees that trans women who have been on hormones for between 1 and 3 years, depending on the organization, have the same competitive abilities.
Yeah.
The study that you're referencing had 7 people participated.
That's misinformation, by the way. I'm referencing several different studies. I'm a trans woman and a researcher.
It's getting personal. I don't want it to be personal.
A lot of us live in this space where we're told that our opinions don't count because they're not...
Oh, God. Puede hacer ejercicio, mejorar la masa muscular, como que no puede mejorar eso? What? I don't fucking know, dude.
Right kind of opinions, and we're constantly shouted over and talked over, regardless of what we look like, because there's one group in society that basically takes precedence, and it's frustrating. So yeah, of course, it's frustrating because when...
Espérate. What was that evil laugh? Hold on. Can I just go back just a second?
because there's one group in society that basically takes precedence, and it's frustrating. So yeah, of course, it's frustrating.
Why? Porque eso se reído.
Because when we try to talk about it, we get shouted down, we get told to be quiet, we get spoken down too as well. So
Okay,
there's hostility there for plenty of women.
Let's try to make this an opportunity to speak.
You're literally a white woman from Australia. You live in a bubble and you're pissed that voices that have been silenced forever finally can be heard.
That's why they have the voice, because they speak up.
Okay, we're having a conversation about...
¿Qué están hablando? What's happening? Wow, this is such a mess. This is a train wreck. Let's keep watching.
Transgender women participating in sports, and I wanted to allow more people to participate. Jordan, I wanted to hear from you.
So I am not a professional athlete. The closest thing I have ever done to anything athletic was I used to do competitive show choir when I was younger. And I don't feel really qualified to make carte blanche statements about whether or not trans women should compete in every kind of sport. And I understand that that is kind of, that's a hard pill to swallow. And for me, my first inclination is to approach everything through a lens of inclusivity. But at the same time, I also can't speak accurately to every kind of sport and the different things that go into it. So I really think in these instances, the decisions are best left up to the professional governing bodies that dictate these particular sports.
I just feel like in places, as an ally, in places where there's no understanding, we can just respect and not really, like, our opinions don't fucking matter.
Eli, I saw you nodding your head over there.
Several times.
Eli's like, fuck all these bitches.
This is more than about sports. This is about free and equal participation for transgender people in social life. And the right sees this as a socially acceptable way to begin to remove trans people from different engagements in our society.
Yeah, I agree, especially kids.
So it does just start with sports or bathrooms or locker rooms, something that they find is more acceptable. And then at this point, they start to move into education, getting trans teachers fired, banning trans books. This is
and that's been happening too, you know, the trans book thing.
Is very effective because it's seen as more acceptable. But it's also overlooking a lot of major details. Like, I mean, do y'all know how many trans women have won national titles?
One too many.
One. It's Leah Thomas is the only one.
Yeah, only one.
If women too many?
if women's sports were actually going to end in some way, I mean, it's just not happening. Wouldn't you think there would be more trans women in sports when the majority of states do allow trans women full participation? International titles, 0. No global titles have ever been won by a trans woman.
I want to move on to a different topic. I want to talk about Me Too and
God.
Sort of this social movement that we've lived through or living through right now.
I just want to say, I think Me Too is important. I'm just dreading what they're going to say.
What is the state of feminism sort of in this post-Me Too
era?
I
ate all the snack. I drank all the soda.
Right.
Post-Me Too?
Tell me.
It's still happening. What are you talking about?
Sorry, I got distracted by the Me Too part. So I was like, we're post-Me Too? Wow. Like, no one's getting, like, sexually harassed anymore.
That's my point, too. It's not post-Me Too when nothing has changed.
We did it, guys. We solved the problem.
I want that world. No, I think obviously the state of feminism is very much reflected right in this room. But Me Too for me, right, in a particular context, means something for different people. It's a different experience for different people. In my culture and in my community, we're still working through that. There is no post-Me Too, right? We're still working through how do we have these tough conversations? How do we teach not just, you know, women, but everyone about consent? What does consent look like? What does that look like in our community? What does that not look like?
Just to be clear, I said, put down your hand, I'll slap you, to the person in the corner, not to the one talking.
Right, all those things that I think it's still very complicated. But I think it starts at the level of community, right? Of like, how do we have these conversations around consent?
Sydney, I saw your hand up.
So when the Me Too thing was unfolding...
She's an Australian whose name is Sydney. That's funny. That's funny. Come on. That's an Australian woman whose name is Sydney. That's funny.
I was initially like, great, I love the idea of women being able to speak out. What's been really disappointing, I suppose, for me, post-Me Too, as we're calling it, is that and especially as someone who's sort of on the right wing of politics.
Slap you, slap. Not you, sorry. Slap the other one.
The experiences of women on the right get a bit trivialized because there is a lot of politicizing of sexual assault. So when something legitimately happens on our side of the table and someone tries to speak up about it, there's almost an automatic disbelief. And I understand why. It's because of the believe all women type of stuff that came out of the Me Too movement, that a lot of us were like, wait a minute, no, people do use these situations for gain. People do make things up. People do lie. But it is sad to watch it happen. Wow. It makes me sad that we're here.
Jordan?
Wow.
I feel like there'll never be a post-Me Too because at the heart of it, Me Too is just a phrase. The spirit of what Me Too represented will always be relevant, and that is that you are empowering individual women to advocate for themselves and speak out when they feel like they're being wrong. Ideally...
And just to remind everyone, what Me Too actually was people to talk more openly about the experiences they had. So basically saying, instead of having like sexual assault and violence be private, everyone's saying Me Too and talking about their experiences so that everyone understood, oh, this happens to like basically all women ever, you know. It happens to men too. It happens to trans and queer people, you know. It's just something that happens a lot. It's a really big problem. That's what that movement was about. Just to remind you all.
You're just trying to be the most transparent and self-accountable person you can be. And you need to hit all of those fronts, if you want it to last on a cultural level.
How about beauty standards? We talked a little bit about this. This got
That's
brought
at
up
least
at the
less
beginning.
terrible,
How does that
hopefully.
tie into femininity?
Sorry, I'm very into this idea because I do think it is one of the larger intersections that just doesn't get very discussed, which is, like I was talking about before, barriers and friction are placed up around bodies. And the fatter I get, the older I get, the less people will listen to me, the less value I will have for society. So, you know, I'm already starting out as a woman with no legs. If I had something on my face, I have my beauty. That's one of my privileges. I have my whiteness. That's one of my privileges. I used to have thinness and now I'm getting fatter. Things are changing. And I think every single time that we talk about feminism, pretty privilege should be discussed because we have these ideas. If your skin tone is this, if your hair is this, if your body looks like that, it's about whether or not you are given an equal opportunity based on what you look like.
I saw it.
I think a lot of times the women that complain about beauty standards
Can I just say one thing quickly?
When they got privilege.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? I thought that they were calling her Pearl originally because she's wearing pearls, and they were calling her Pearl as a nickname. But I guess that's her real name. Her real name is Pearl, and she's wearing some pearls. Okay.
When they were young and attractive and thin. So it's like, yeah, you're complaining when the privilege is gone, but privilege is invisible to those who have it, and women, it's a privilege.
Okay, here's the thing. Face. Here's the thing. She's saying that because she actually knows something, but then she's not realizing it. No, not this one, the other one, Pearl. That, you know, she has a shitload of privilege, and that's why she's not recognizing. That's why this one has the face. No
privilege, and men don't turn 18 and get looks that we get.
As a Black woman, one of the most integral parts of the beauty conversation has been colorism. I'm a dark-skinned Black woman, proud of it and proud of being myself. For the most part, I did not. Why am I going to cry about this? I did not grow up thinking I was beautiful because I was that. And I think in the Black space, we have these conversations, but I think I'm glad you're bringing it up because I think feminists actually really should be part of the colorism topic because colorism is not just shades within being Black. It's shades because the beauty standard is the closer to whiteness you are, the more beautiful you are. I think it's something that if more people in different shades, particularly white women, because of knowing that standard, and we work together on that, then we have a lot, I think, something we can unify on, but also something that we can make strides.
Is it terrible that I'm half distracted because I think that she's cute and she's cute? I'm sorry.
And right now that I'm just not seeing, it's only that's why people feel like you have to be a Black feminist because it's a topic that only really Black feminists are talking about because it deals with being Black.
How do beauty standards make you feel?
So hold on.
Morris.
So the moderator, her only job is to sometimes ask questions, but not actually moderate? Cool.
I mean,
right, Saho, son cute.
Me distraigo. Latina woman in my community, right? Like, I grew up and I was ugly, right? Like,
she's cute too, but I like her two more.
I was not considered beautiful. Of feeling ugly, but also being told I was, right, had a lot to do with what is believed in my community, right? Colorism is one of them. And so to say, I'm going to redefine beauty for myself, and to say, I own myself and I get to decide what's beautiful, right? And I get to decide what I want to wear and how I want to wear it. And I don't
She's my only hope that this one's going to get slapped.
It's almost a repelling, right? Like, I'm like, no, you know what? I am beautiful. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to feel myself, because if no one else is going to feel me, it's on me to feel me too.
I gotta say though, I did grow up being referred to as very beautiful for a woman with a disability. And that to me always fed this idea that disability doesn't mean beautiful. I am in some form of exceptionalism, which I then had to keep up with forever. So it's like, I got this thought as I started to age, like, you can have no legs, but you better not fucking get fat. And so this idea that
because she'll be treated
there
worse.
are certain people who are beautiful and certain people who aren't.
I know.
And that inherently holds value.
I'm a better moderator. Pay me. Give me the money.
You know, find it in yourself.
Give me the bills.
And
I need the money.
Beauty standards are toxic bullshit, hierarchical nonsense. And I say that as someone who has spent over a year collectively of my life in eating disorder institutions, because I have tried to put my body through hellish things to meet these beauty standards, which more often than not are not based in reality. They're typically trends. They're created to push things. They're extremely useful for marketing, but they don't serve anyone's health. They don't serve anyone's self-esteem. They only act to try and tell us that there's a allegedly right way to have a body. And if you don't occupy that space and have that body, then you're a piece of shit, which is absolute nonsense. And there are way too many
If that woman in the corner says that's not true,
end up doing terrible things to themselves because they fall
I'm sorry. When I get angry, I want to slap people, but not really. Okay, not really.
This way, then there's something
just in my head
wrong in your core, which is nonsense. You're perfect the way you are. That's literally the core of it. You are perfect the way you are. And anyone who tries to tell you otherwise is feeding into this industry and is just, they're not your friend or looking out for you.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, beauty in the industry is exploitative, but also we have to remember a lot of the beauty standards are based around health, what's perceived as health, like symmetry, certain weights, things like that. So
she's really gonna go into the, well, if you're not super thin, you're not healthy. Fuck you.
There is that side where we have to balance it, and I think we're seeing so much more representation, which I think is incredibly important.
You're fine and you're beautiful.
That, like, if women really cared about beauty standards, like the obesity rate wouldn't be what it is.
Oh my god.
Maintain the beauty standards.
Oh my god.
I mean, I just think like some people are more attractive, some people are less attractive, and that's just, you know, where would I rate myself 1 to 10? Like,
we're not rating. It's okay.
That's what I mean. Like, I just think like some people.
Es que ella está por mandarla para el mismo carajo. Tú le ves la cara. She's like, fuck around and find out.
If you are overweight, you don't care about beauty standards.
Well,
is that right?
Like the point is that the beauty standard is thin, right?
No, I think that she's saying I wouldn't be overweight. That's what she's saying.
Your standard?
But obesity comes from men and women, though.
Yeah, you're right.
I know.
That's true. But I'm saying if women really wanted to fit the beauty
because
standard, it would be thin.
That is definitely my situation.
I just, from my experience as well, is growing up again in a mostly white neighborhood where I was always comparing myself to literally other people who have a different body type, but I wasn't. I was considered other or
you're super pretty and cute. Don't listen to them; they're stupid.
That body type. When that same body type became popular, with Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians, who are different. Right?
It's a little
than me. Let's just say our different skin color.
They're like, you can have a big butt as long as you're white.
Animosity, and a lot of Black communities of the fact that when it was on Black skin, it was an issue, but when it was Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians, it was $1 billion business.
Yep.
Our time together has almost come to an end.
What? Oh wait, no! What did I do? Sorry about that. I was gonna say it saved it. Don't worry. I was going to say, why is the moderator smiling about this? Did you even do your job? You didn't do your job.
Right? And there's a lot of animosity. In a lot of Black communities.
We sort of started talking about feminism, big picture. We're going to try again. Is feminism dead?
I think feminism is alive.
Does the moderator think that she did something? I'm sorry, but this moderator sucks.
And
sucks.
I'm thankful to be a participant and believer of it.
I would say, as far as the West goes, I think that feminism has been cannibalized by other movements like leftism, like transgenderism.
So I think feminism is very much alive and well. I think it takes different forms depending on who you're talking to, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. And as I've defined in the beginning, for me, I use it as a lens. So I don't think I'll ever stop having it in my arsenal, if you will. It makes for a good vice panel.
Okay, we're done.
I wanted to hear what she was going to say.
I know this is...
She's cute.
It got a little heated at times, but thank you all for coming.
That was terrible. That was bad.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mira, ella está como que para el carajo. Me voy inmediatamente. No me miren. No me miren que me voy. Mírala, mírala. Se fue. Se fue. She's like, I'm gone. And they're like, oh, let's be conservative friends together.
That was wild. I mean, drama.
It was nerve-wracking.
Some of the people on the panel were entirely subsumed in misinformation.
I think that we women need to stick together and figure out what a woman is.
We were all loud, outspoken women.
Some people are soft.
I hate the idea that we're not supposed to be angry about it. It's okay to be angry about being oppressed.
It was like surprising to get tone policed on camera by a white woman.
I don't know why everything has to become about me being a white person, as if that somehow circumvents my opinions on issues.
No, es que eres una pendeja que no puede entender que las personas que no son blancas sufren más que tú.
The personal is political, the political is personal.
We need to have more spaces where we have literal political ideologies
and then they
of
gave them
different
candy.
backgrounds.
That must have been before the debate.
Is always and has been a hate group.
Feminism isn't dead in America. I think feminism is doing its best.
I'm ready for a glass of wine.
Mija, yo también. Yo también. Let's go. I want to see some of the comments. This has to be... Comments are turned off. Interesting. Those comments were not turned off originally. Interesting. I wonder if I can find the report about it. They were not turned off originally. Let me see. Is there any... Must include controversy. Okay. It's Reddit, but whatever. Let's see if they give us some info. Okay. Panelists had a debate about feminism, which included Eli Elric, are claiming they went through violence because they had to hear ideas and opinions they disagree with. What? Okay. No, esa es la cosa. Pues es que lo quería ver because there's a lot of controversy about the debate, and a lot of people hated it and got really upset about how it was handled. That's why I wanted to watch it. Okay. When Vice said they were having us debate some anti-trans and conservative speakers, I didn't think they meant actual racist, anti-Semitic, neo-Nazi supporters like Sydney Watson, or Pearl Davis. However, the platform was going to happen one way or another, and the least I could do, this is from Eli's, right? I think? Okay. Where did I leave off? Blah, 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 blah. And the least I could do is prevent the anti-feminists from spreading any more disinformation than they already had. I believe some of the far-right speakers made our points for us, promoting anti-sex, anti-queer, and anti-women conspiracies that very few people actually believe. The way they treated us was, frankly, so unacceptable that they make their own political beliefs laughable. The experience was exhausting, but getting to meet people like... I don't know whose usernames those are. And Omari's made it worth it. I hope they will release more from this 8-hour shoot. Oh my God. 8-hour shoot. So you can see some of the more egregious statements made towards Yelda and Omari's that they cut out. Watch the full episode on Vice. Interesting. Drama. Wait, what the fuck? Pearlie handed it to them. They're so mad she actually asked them what specifically are the barriers you face in society. They couldn't answer it. Pearl, what barriers do women face? I am also disabled. I am also black. Everyone, question mark. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so basically, that must have been why they closed comments. And see, this, they added this recently too. I think I didn't see this before. So an abortion is a procedure to end a pregnancy. It uses medicine or surgery to remove the embryo or fetus and placenta from the uterus. The procedure is done by a licensed healthcare professional. Interesting. Actually, maybe YouTube made them add that. Why am I seeing this? I see. Wow, what a mess. Did they post anything else about it? No, maybe. Because this was posted, what, a week ago? I think it wasn't that long ago. Should it be in order of what's happening? Huh. Oh, it's right there. 3 weeks ago. I didn't think it was that. Maybe it's because what I was seeing was people reacting to it when it first came out. And they didn't have anything.
Our different skin color.
Figure out what a woman is.
We were all
Opinions on issues.
I want to see.
Is political. The political is perfect.
Okay. I wanted to see if they had anything linked at the end. I can't remember what the video linked was. Interesting. No. Okay. Huh. So this is the one. I'm not going to watch this one today. You all can. No, you can't. Let me open it so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm not going to go into this one today. I don't know if I'll do it eventually anyway. I think you can see it now. Let me see. Boop. Yeah. So this is the one that they did a few years ago that apparently was actually pretty good. And a lot of people were disappointed that the new one was so bad, because apparently this one was pretty good. I wish I could get the dislikes on YouTube again. I know there's like a thing you can add to see the dislikes again, right? There's like a, ¿cómo se llama eso? There's like a thing you can add to your browser so you can get dislikes back. I should do that from Vice. I really wonder if they're gonna put anything up like an extended cut. Well, at least we have watched the panel. That was interesting. I mean, kind of like what I expected, that it was bad. As in, everyone's just fighting and talking over each other. The moderator didn't do anything, especially if what was put online that we saw is true, that, well, one, that it was 8 hours and that the really racist stuff was edited out, then that means that they're trying to make the racist, Nazi loving, well, that's what it said, people look better. Yeah, I know there's a plugin. I'm gonna install it in Chrome so I can have it next time, because I know it exists. Bueno, Sajo, ¿qué pensaste del panel? Sajo, I hope you learned something. I think all you learned is that when I get angry, I want people to slap each other. I don't really, but that's how I express my anger. It's by being like, slap the person, just because I want it, this person and this person especially, to shut up. This one most of the time as well. It's like, shush, you three. Because this person, even though they were a bit conservative, it wasn't like these two. Me agoté con esto. Nada más fue 1 hora y siento que... Por eso que no que... That's why originally I wasn't sure if I'd do it today, because I knew I was already tired, and now I'm even more tired. Ugh. All right, let's leave it there. Next time, I'll do something. Who knows what I'll do? Something. At least I had been wanting to have this on stream for a while, so I'm glad that I did it. I mean, you all know, at some point I'm going to play the kanji game. I have some other games that I want to play. There's some other video stuff I've been thinking of, but this is the one that I've been thinking about the most recently. Was a bad one, but entertaining. Agreed. We'll see if there's enough. I know there's been some other Vice ones that have been interesting, but this is the one I kept seeing pop up all over the place. Oh, I'm tired. That drained me. I can't imagine being there for 8 hours fighting with people. ¿Tú te imaginas? 8 horas peleando con gente. Me muero. Literalmente me muero. All right, Sajo, buenas noches. Yo sé que no te vas a dormir, pero buenas noches. Gracias, Sajo. Have a good night, everybody. Gracias por acompañarme en este revolú. I hope that you enjoyed this mess. Hopefully you learned something, even if that is what a moderator should not do. Maybe that's what you learned. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out. I'll talk to you all later. I don't know when. I know tomorrow we can't stream, but this week should be a little bit less stressful. So hopefully we can stream a bit more this week. But at worst, we'll be streaming probably on the weekend like we normally are able to do. Sí, que descanse tú también, Sajo, que pase buena noche. Yeah, and I have to rest and go to sleep soon because I have to get up super early again, per usual, because of my stupid job. Also, I'm meeting with my manager tomorrow, so I'm probably going to be ranting either on Twitter or here soon. Okay, bye-bye. Buenas noches. Good night. Pórtense bien. Don't be mean. Bye-bye. Bye.